I think I've got something in my eye. A woman from Oregon got the shock of her life after discovering what was really irritating her eye: worms. Thalassia gullosa are parasitic worms typically found in cattle. They live on the surface of the eyeball and produce larvae that stay in the tears. Face flies that feed off the animal's eye secretions ingest the larvae, which develop into a more advanced stage while in the fly's digestive system. The worms can enter a human host when an infected fly lands close to or in a person's eye. So far, only 10 other cases of eye worms have been reported in the US, with none caused by Thalassia gullosa until now. Eye worms can be killed with anti-parasitic medicine, but may cause scarring. As such, patients are advised to just monitor the eyes and remove any worms. The parasites have been known to cause vision loss and blindness in animals, but fortunately not in people. Can you feel your skin crawling? North Korean defector's stomach full of nasty parasites. The contents of a recent North Korean defector's stomach paint a hopeless picture of what life is really like inside the Hermit Kingdom. The North Korean border guard was shot several times while fleeing across the demilitarized zone to South Korea last week. Medical staff treating the defector say they found numerous parasites inside his body. Several of these were removed from his digestive tract, including one 27-centimeter long roundworm. They were likely caused by farming practices in the north where human excrement is used for fertilizer due to a lack of chemical fertilizer. Known as night soil, this practice is notorious for spreading parasites and disease. And that god-awful practice was championed by this guy. And he's full of it. Very full. Those poor animals. Scientists are concerned by a massive shark die-off in San Francisco Bay, but are unable to get state funding to research the exact cause. 2,000 leopard sharks and hundreds of bat rays, smooth-hound sharks, striped bass, and halibut have turned up dead on San Francisco Bay between February and July of this year. The culprit is suspected to be a parasite known as Miamiensis avidus, which enters the shark's nose and eats away at its brain. When the animal eventually succumbs to the parasite, it either swims aimlessly in circles or beaches itself. But scientists say only a small fraction end up on shore. Sharks aren't naturally buoyant, so the infected ones sink to the bottom of the ocean once they stop swimming. Leopard sharks are the most commonly spotted victims of the parasite, but it's a lesser concern for the California Department of Fish and Wildlife since the species is not endangered. Scientists fear, however, that other species are also becoming infected and dying, but just aren't washing up on shore. They also worry that the parasite could spread farther along the California coast.
Third world parasite on the rise in U.S. South. It may be a disease that is typically associated with developing nations, but a new study has found that parasitic hookworms are plaguing the southern U.S. 34.5% of stool samples taken from Alabama's Loudoun County tested positive for a species of hookworm called Necator americanus. Households in the county are reportedly poor and lack basic sanitation, with waste often discarded in the backyard. Residents exposed to the raw sewage may become infected with hookworm, which enters the human body through the feet. The parasitic worm attaches itself to the walls of the small intestine, sucking the host's blood, which in turn causes anemia, weight loss, impaired mental function, and stunted growth in children. The disease is a problem even for those who can afford to install their own septic tanks. Sewage problems run rampant in Alabama's Black Belt region. The area's loamy soil prevents water from draining into the ground, and heavy rains often cause septic systems to overflow or back up. Parasitic infections like hookworm are treatable with medication, but unless sanitation conditions improve, people will simply become reinfected with the disease.
CDC warns diarrhea-inducing cryptoparasites on the rise in U.S. pools. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says outbreaks of a parasitic infection linked to swimming pools are increasing, and there have been twice as many outbreaks in 2016 as in 2014. Cryptosporidium, commonly known as crypto, is a microscopic parasite that causes the diarrheal disease cryptosporidiosis. Even in properly chlorinated water, it can survive up to 10 days. Swallowing just a mouthful of water with crypto can make healthy people sick for weeks. It can cause stomach cramps, nausea, diarrhea, and can lead to dehydration. The only way to get rid of the parasite is by treating the water with extremely high levels of chlorine that are dangerous for swimmers. Ohio was one of the states with the most reported cases. A total of 1,940 people fell ill due to the infection in 2016.